How's it going, everyone? Welcome and thank you for stopping in. Tonight I have a exciting video planned for you guys. Before we hop into that, why don't we cover what I have in the old pockets right now. This is a brand new offering from Kaiser. This is the Kaiser Torngat, and I like this more and more every time I pick it up. It has a Tanto blade, a flat grind into a hollow grind, a nice V-shaped hole for the thumb and reverse flick. You got blue anodizing on the collar, backspacer, and pocket clip. Some cool milling lines in the titanium scales. I love a good frame lock with a hole that you can thumb and reverse flick. Could be a little stronger on the detent for me personally, but I mean, it's good. It's good to go. I think it'll probably vary what you get. You know, it might be perfect for you. If you like them really strong, you might want to put a little tension on this guy. But all in all, this is a comfortable, good-looking EDC knife, and I think it will also be a good work knife as well. We will soon see. I'm definitely going to be putting this one to the test. That's the main reason I got it. So we will definitely see what it's capable of. So the video I have planned for you guys is my top 10 most carried knives, period. Now, the ones I've just recently got might not probably make this video just because of the simple fact they're newer, and I plan on doing a video of my most carried recent knives and so on and so forth, but I thought it would be cool to do a video on my most carried knives, period. And we'll go ahead and just do a top 10. And we'll go ahead and get started. So I promise this will be the only one of this company, but it has to be on this list because it is part of my most carried knives. Number 10 is the EDC OG NYMBLE. I've carried this a ton. Absolutely love this knife. Love EDC. And this goes for all of the knives from EDC, but the OG NYMBLE is by far one of my most carried knives ever. Now, these aren't going to be in any particular order. I'm just going to go over the top 10, and that's how we'll roll with it. But the OG NYMBLE is definitely on that list. Next up is the Vox F5.5 Urban EDC Supply exclusive. This is the titanium Segaha version. That is a titanium liner lock. One of my most favorite all-time knives to EDC. No question. That blade shape, very slicey, nice finger choil to choke up. Jimping in the center of the blade there. It's just a comfortable, great little knife. These are popular for a reason, and it's because they are a very, very good knife. And I believe Urban EDC Supply has some in stock, maybe not this version, but they do have some F5.5s in stock. M390, it's a belt satin. Just a great all-around knife. Absolutely love the F5.5. That is number 9 there. Next up is the CKnifeworks Maverick S. This is one of my all-time favorite knives. Now, this list is going to be made up of just a lot of my favorite knives. Some of these might have been in my video of my top 10 favorite knives of all time. I'll link that video up here as well. Some of these are in there, some of these aren't, but this is definitely one of my most carried knives ever. It's a slicey machine, very thin, great action, Great cutter, great carry, great aesthetic. I mean, you don't get much better than this. I am going to be picking up a titanium frame lock version someday. All zirconiumed out, backspacer, pocket clip, pivot collars, thumb studs, green micarta. That's very well done. Riot just did a phenomenal job on these, as they typically do. But that is number 8, the CKnifeworks Maverick S. Next up, you're going to be getting a twofer in a sense, but the Axon from Vero. Both of these have gotten carried a ton. So number 7 is the Vero Axon. The frame lock and the liner lock, I have just carried these an absolute ton, and for good reason. They are just spectacular. Even though they are the same design, because one is a liner lock and one is a frame lock, they feel almost totally different. They both feel very good on the open. The front flipper works well on both. The thumb and reverse flick work well on both. They just feel a little different in the ergos department and in the action department, although both of them are very, very good on both grounds. It's kind of, the NYMBLEs are somewhat like that. The liner lock to the frame locks, they just feel a little different. And if you have both, I think those people will know what I mean. But you have M390 on both of these, G10 on the liner lock here. You can get micartas and carbon fibers, but I opted for the stonewash and red G10. This is a blackwash blade with the stonewashed handles, all black hardware, titanium deep carry clip. Veros are just a phenomenal knife. Bestech is the OEM for these guys, and Bestech has done a wonderful job for Vero. So that is what, number 7 there. Next up is my TRM Titanium Atom. This is the DLC variant, so these are very few and far between. Absolutely one of my favorite carries. This is one I reach for more often than a majority of my knives. It's just so well done. The titanium milled scales. It is a liner lock on washers. You have that real thin 20 CV blade. This thing is just a slicing machine. The Neutron 2 could have been up here just as easily, but I think I've kind of surpassed my Neutron with the Atom. But they are both great carries and complement each other very well. This one has broken in very well. It's on washers, like I said, and because of the DLC, it took even longer for it to break in, but since it's broken in, it's got phenomenal opening, and it's pretty good on the close as well. It'll drop to your nail, and then you just give it a little something, and it closes right up. And the slicey blade, the great ergos, that all makes up for it not having bearing action. And all my knives don't need to have bearing action. I'm completely fine with washers because they break in very well. And this isn't done breaking in by any means. It'll continue to get smoother and smoother as time goes on. It's already great, just perfect for me. I love washers that have been smoothed out, worked in, just great, easy to keep clean. There's just something about a well done washer knife, and TRM does a splendid job of that. So that is the TRM Atom with the DLC and titanium. Great everyday carry there. Number 5 might be a surprise, maybe not. Number 5 is the Bestech Shodan. This is a Todd knife and tool design, and this is a great EDC and work knife. Just a phenomenal design. You have that massive leaf-shaped blade in S35, I believe. Yes, S35. Nice long fuller, pill-shaped hole for deployment. You have some nice jimping up top. Flipper tab for deployment as well. A nice, massive finger choil for you to choke up on, and it's almost guarded, so you can really choke up and have no fear whatsoever. Just a great design. It's also very comfortable in the fallback position. It's comfortable like this. It's comfortable like this. Just a great knife. You have a geared titanium backspacer, titanium frame lock, titanium deep carry clip. The action on it is great. It's an awesome cutter. Excellent aesthetic, excellent ergos. You have a carbon fiber. It's like marbled. For the show side, you have the Todd knife and tool pivot there. Just a phenomenal EDC and work knife, especially if you want something that can take some abuse. This is going to get the job done, and not without being able to fidget with it and slice pretty much whatever you want very comfortably and look good doing it. It's a bigger knife for sure, but I absolutely love the Bestech Shodan. That's number 5. Number 4 also had to make this list. I have carried this a ton since I got it. This is the Renegade Provisions Co. GOM. I will shout it from the rooftops. This is one of the best user knives in the last couple years. Awesome Wharncliffe blade in M390. Great opening hole. The front flipper tab is just so intuitive, so well done. Being as a bolster lock, it's so easy to do all the front flipper opening methods that you want to do, whether it's the thumb roll, the pointer finger roll, over the top. It doesn't matter. Easy to do. Full length titanium backspacer. A decently wide titanium pocket clip that just melts into your hand. Don't even feel it. It's so comfortable. The God of Mischief is a phenomenal knife, and I believe there are still a few versions of this in stock. Highly recommend if you're looking for a more premium end user knife. This is a phenomenal design and well executed from Riot. One of my all-time favorite knives and most carried knives, period. Next up is, I think it's number 3, and that is the Arcane Designs Abyss. I carry this a ton. It is a very unique design because of that handle and that very tall Wharncliffe blade. These are coming in M390 as well. This was the first knife I got from Arcane, and I absolutely love it. You have the window style hole there. You have a rear flipper tab. It's a titanium frame lock. You have a nice 3D milled titanium pocket clip there. You have some pivot collars, and there's aftermarket collars and pocket clips you can get. Someday I plan on it. But this is so comfortable in hand. That swell back here, very good in hand. You have that full length backspacer, which I absolutely love. You guys know that. It just makes the knife so much more comfortable. I'll take the extra weight for the comfort. no question, I will take the full backspacer, take the added weight, and it will be so much more comfortable in hand. If you really got to bear down on this guy, it's going to be comfortable, not cause any issues, at least for quite a while. And it's just got such a useful blade. Absolutely love Israel and Arcane designs, and the Abyss or the Crawler is definitely one of my most carried knives, period. Next up is, I've carried this knife an absolute ton. This is the Hogue Ex01, and this is the aluminum bodied variant. They have some G10, I think, and some other blade combos, but this is a phenomenal knife from Hogue. You have 154 cm for the blade steel. It is stone washed, drop point blade. You have the dual thumb studs for the deployment method. This is a button lock, plunge lock, but it's not just any old plunge lock. You have a nice, thick, deep plunge there. It's held up splendidly. I tested the crap out of this plunge lock and this knife, and it is a very, very well done plunge lock from Hogue. The pocket clip, you know, it gives you the ability to get it in and out of your pocket easily. Do I wish that it was a little deeper? I wish it kind of looped here and then you had this. But, you know, I think you can get aftermarket clips for these, so not a huge deal. You do have that extra lock if you're really going to be doing some crazy stuff, but which, you know, doesn't allow you to push the button. But Hogue is a USA company. They do a phenomenal job on their knives. The Deca could have been up here as well, but this was a knife when I got it. I could not put it down, and I routinely pick it back up to carry it. Definitely one of my most carried knives ever, and it's a great one coming from Hogue. Their 154 cm is awesome. Stonewash blade, the black aluminum really sets it off with the satiny stonewashed hardware. Just a great looking knife, great work knife, and a great user knife. Absolutely love the Hogue. And we got one left, the Quiet Carry Drift in Van X Super Clean. This is one knife that I reach for very often. Since I've gotten this knife, I have carried this a ton. It's very lightweight. You have the black knurled titanium, as they call it. Van X Super Clean, nice clean drop point blade. This is completely rust proof, you know, 99.99% rust proof. The titanium, I believe the Van X Super Clean, the pocket clip, the hardware, it's all rust resistant, rust proof, and just a phenomenal all around EDC knife, work knife. Quiet Carry makes knives that if you just bought this knife and only had this knife, you would be just fine. The Van X holds an edge well. The corrosion resistance is off the charts. The aesthetics is good. The ergos are great. The size is just fine. Just great for an EDC and work knife. It's not too much, not too little. Nice and slicey. Thumb stud opener. You have a finger choil. This is a great EDC knife. If you like the aesthetic of this knife, it is a phenomenal knife. that will wrap it up, guys, for my 10 most carried knives ever. There could have been some other knives that were in place of other knives, but we'll do a future video on that. But that was my top 10 that I thought would be the best fit and that were truly carried more than almost anything else. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you here. If you're still here, give yourself and me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if any of these were your favorite knives. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.